What's going on, everybody? HondaProJason here with the 2022 Honda Civic Si. I'll walk you guys around the car, show you everything there is to know about it, some cool tips and tricks, all the new features. There are lots and lots of things to learn about this vehicle. This vehicle is only a sedan. They are not doing a hatchback or a coupe. What's crazy is you guys can see in the background here what inspired this car, and it's right back there. It's a 1996 Honda Civic Si. This is Honda's first Civic Si, and this car inspired the styling, the greenhouse, the long hood, and just the drivability. The idea behind this is what inspired them to do this. Now let's take a look at the front. The headlights are darkened out, which I really like. The back of the headlights are real dark. Gives a nice sporty look, and across the front, that honeycomb grille straight off the hatchback. I love with that SI badge right there, looking good. You'll notice, unlike the Touring, there are no parking sensors in the front and the rear. Now those sensors are for parking, and they're for an emergency braking in case you come up to somebody very quickly from like a stop sign or something. So all of your sensing actually all work through this camera now. So your lane keep assist, your adaptive cruise control, the sensor and camera are all one, so everything works inside there. That's cool technology. You guys come across the side here, you'll see immediately these blacked out wheels. These look tough. In fact, they blacked out everything on the vehicle. The mirrors are blacked out. All the chrome is taken away from this section right in through here. The brakes are upgraded, definitely. It is an SI, so it's upgraded from the sedan. So the brakes are bigger in the front and the rear. The suspension is tighter. Not just tighter, it has been reworked. We just drove through some canyon roads, and let me tell you, it handles so well. Coming around in the back here, this integrated spoiler looks insane. Good for aero, stability. These rear taillights are also darked out. SI badging front and rear. They got the chrome exhaust tips, which is really the only chrome on the car. They got the dual chrome exhaust tips, and if you guys look underneath, they have this really cool loop exhaust pipe. Look at that. That's going to help with performance and with sound. And it's a true dual exhaust. Not just one pipe there, it's a true dual. You can see it right there. That covers all the cool stuff on the outside of the vehicle. Let's jump under the hood next. Much like the 86, they're both powered by a 1.5 liter engine. The difference is this one here is turbocharged with double the horsepower. The old one had about 91 horsepower. This one here has 200. And a lot of that horsepower now is much more usable on the lower end. They have a 26% lighter flywheel, so it spools up much quicker, and there's a lot less rev hang from first to second gear. And yes, it is VTEC for those of you that are asking. So the engine it's improved because there's more usable power, which I really like. Transmission is only a 6-speed. Let's jump inside. Let me show you some of the new technologies. Stepping inside, the first thing you're going to notice is all of the red stitching, red door panels, the red seats with the SI logos, and integrated headrest. I love this. Front and dash area, red across these metal grills, which looks great. Around the steering wheel, all the way across the end there, and of course around the shift lever. Now these are only 6 speeds. It's the only way the SI has ever come. That's the only way the SI is this year. Also features taken straight from the Type R, like rev matching. So when you downshift, the system automatically matches the rev, so you don't have to give a little blip if you don't want to. And we talked to a couple of professional race car drivers, and they say that they love the way it worked. They were going to shut it off, but it worked so well, they actually left it on.
Hi, I'm Ryan Eversley, factory race car driver for Honda Performance Development. We're sitting here in the brand new 2022 Honda Civic Si, hanging out with my buddy HondaProJason. And we're just talking about some of my feelings of the car, what I enjoyed about driving it. I'd say First couple of things that were impressive to me was the overall visibility outside of the car. They kind of did like a throwback to the original Civic, and they've got a higher roof line, a lower hood line, a narrower A-pillar, and then the mirror has been brought down off the door a bit so you can actually see in between the mirror and the world. So that's really nice. We're here on some back canyon roads that we've been doing in California, and having that visibility is a really big deal. But a couple of things that it's carrying over from the Type R would be like the rev matching on the downshift, which is a lot of fun, especially if you're in a hurry going through these back canyon roads and you don't have time to get the pedals properly. But also the shared suspension bushings on the front and the rear of this car that we're sharing with the Type R. And I, believe it or not, was shocked to find that instead of having body roll in the car, there's quite a bit of sidewall deflection with the tire giving up before the car would. And so if you're a driving enthusiast like myself, that was pretty impressive. So it's been a lot of fun to check this thing out, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot of them out on the road.
Now it is a digital and analog. So this part here is digital, and you can customize this a little bit on this side, as you guys can see. Here's a new feature. It's really interesting. If you look at your headlight stalk, off, auto, and on, if you turn it to off, watch what happens. It clicks right back. So what that does is that actually allows you to do something pretty neat. If you're driving along with the headlights on, here, let me simulate that by putting my hand on the sensor here. What's going to happen is the headlights are going to go on. You're going to see a little headlight switch. There you go. Headlights are on now. Now, if you pull up in front of somebody's house and you put your emergency brake on, you turn the headlights off using the stalk, it shuts the headlights off so you don't blind the person you're sitting in front of the house. Smart, right? And then as soon as you start driving and you put the emergency brake back off, your headlights, if it's dark out, of course, your headlights automatically go back on. How cool is that? Here's another cool feature that's only in the SI. Watch the RPM gauge as I rev the engine. The numbers actually illuminate with the RPM. And that sound, ooh, that SI sound is awesome. You have a 9-inch display, fully touchscreen with a regular radio knob, which everybody of course loves, and some hard buttons right up on top here. A couple of other things I love about the new Civic is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is now wireless. So all you have to do is jump in the car, it automatically connects. You don't have to plug it in anymore. It also has a new feature called Smart Shortcuts. What this will do is this will start memorizing all the things you do, the people you call, the places you go, and put them up on your screen so you don't have to go searching for them later. It's a really neat and very smart system. Bose stereo system. First time the Civic has ever gotten a Bose stereo system. And the drive modes, that's what everyone has been talking about lately. So the drive modes, you have normal, sport, and individual. What individual does is allows you to customize your drive mode. So the way this works is you can go to here, go to customize, then here you can do the engine for a sport drive or a normal drive, and then steering, sport or normal. So the engine is going to be a lot more responsive in sport, and then steering becomes much heavier in sport. Like I said, we drove it and you can definitely tell the difference between the two. The other thing that's cool about sport mode versus individual and normal is your auto off. So you'll see it down there in the corner. You'll see this button here. You guys are all pretty familiar with it. It's where the car goes into like a pause mode when you stop. If you're in sport mode, that's deactivated. So that's something a lot of people I'm sure are going to want to look at.
Hey everybody, I'm Nick from Also Sick Media, and today I'm going to be going a very cool feature in the new 11th generation Honda Civic Si. So let's just say you're going up a hill and you accidentally stall. Well, instead of restarting the car, you can just now simply push in the clutch and it starts back up. So this is a new feature that they added in the 2022 Honda Civic Si, and I think it's great.
So what'd you guys think of the 2022 Honda Civic Si? I think the 11th generation is a big step up from the 10th generation. I was able to drive it. I really think it feels kind of like a mini Type R, honestly. Huge thanks to everyone at Honda for inviting me out And this vehicle is now available at dealerships. So I suggest you guys go out there and test drive it. And in the comments below, let me know what you guys think. As always, guys, I'm the Honda Pro. And now you're in the know.